Foot health is essential to the way we live. We live on our feet. Just about all the literature shows that the more we're active, the healthier we are. And it's very difficult to be active without healthy feet. When the foot hits the ground, everything changes. When you put a shoe on, it even changes more. And this is the source of some of the pathology that we see today in people's feet. Our job here at ProLab is to build something that corrects that. And a functional custom orthotic is usually the solution. Every foot is completely different, and therefore every orthotic has to be made for that particular foot. I started ProLab in the beginning because I could not find an orthotic lab that would make an orthotic as accurate as I needed or as my patients needed.
Hi, very happy. As a podiatrist, my goal is simply to reduce pain and allow that patient to do whatever they want without foot pain limiting their activity. I'm going to push along the bottom if anything bothers you. We often have patients come in for second opinions thinking they need surgery, and I would say a good 80-90% of the time these patients do not need surgery. Okay, go ahead. With the right orthotic, we can alleviate the forces that cause the pain and allow them to live their life pain-free. We actually see that the leg is fairly straight. There's a lot of variation in quality of orthoses. I know with ProLab I'm getting something that is doing everything I've asked it to do to get my patient better as fast as possible. Relax, let me position. I use a three-dimensional laser scanner to capture an image of the foot. I use the scanner because it gives me just as good an image as the plaster in a 1/10 of the time. One of the key aspects is to make sure that you are following evidence-based medicine in prescribing these orthoses and that the lab is following evidence-based medicine in producing the orthotics. That's what's going to provide that patient with the very best clinical outcome.
Here at ProLab, the process begins when we receive the digital scan or physical cast along with the prescription from the doctor. If it's a digital scan that we receive, it immediately goes into our corrections department.
When we design an orthotic, we're putting in what's called a correction. That correction changes the way the joints of the foot move, away from the pathological, more towards the normal.
With the physical cast, we take that cast and it is cut down and digitally scanned into our system so that we can save a raw file of that cast. From our CAD/CAM corrections department, the corrected image is then sent to our milling department, where we either mill out a positive wood mold, or it goes into our other mill where we mill out a block of polypropylene and make the device directly from that.
Today there is a new breed of orthotics. We have a new manufacturing system that's available to us because of the new technology. It allows us to be higher quality, higher accuracy, and greater consistency. We use vacuum forming because its accuracy is down to 0.1% of variation. The corrected model of the patient's foot comes out of the mill as a wood form. Then we take that wood form to another area and we heat up, usually polypropylene or it could be graphite, and we melt that material over the model of the patient's foot. This creates an orthotic of the new shape rather than of the old shape.
From the vacuum forming, we then go to a rough cut, where the polypropylene is cut around the form prior to grinding. From here, the vacuum formed or the direct milled device go into our grinding department. In grinding, we actually grind it down to the specifications on the prescription.
When the orthotic moves to top cover, everything is cut to the exact specifications that the doctor has ordered. So you can add an extension, you can add a slot, wedges. Because we are a custom lab, we can do anything. At the final quality control, this is where our technicians match the prescription that the doctor has sent us with the completed orthotic. We work with brilliant doctors. They send prescriptions to us because they want it made to their exact specifications. Our technicians very meticulously check every component for accuracy and quality so they can have the best outcomes for their patients.
Okay, so we got your orthotics. Now I want you to go very slow when you break them in. When I scan that patient's foot and write a prescription, I have a very definitive idea of how I want that orthotic to match that patient's foot and function. And I know I'm going to get that when I use ProLab. That's a really close contour to your arch.
That's
no
wonderful.
problems at all.
At ProLab, we have the perfect marriage of handcrafted and cutting-edge technology for our manufacturing process. Every step along the way is custom. We don't use prefabricated shells, or we don't estimate what the shape of the foot looks like or what the size of the foot is. We know what it is.
Okay, so lift the left foot off the ground. If I can actually provide my patients with an orthotic that really reduces these pathologic forces, then they are back at their activity faster, they're exercising more, they're healthier, and their quality of life is just better. It makes me feel like I did my job for them.